Hey, everybody. This is a special announcement before our show begins. Very unusual, I know, but important because we have big news here at Breaking Bread. My Netflix special, they just announced that my new Netflix special called What a Day is going to premiere on December 13th of this year. Very exciting. We just did it in October and got it all together, and they want to put it right on the air. So December 13th, What a Day, will be premiering on the Netflix. Tell your friends and family. Very excited for you all to see it, and worked really hard on it. I think it's very funny. The people laughed, so that's always a good sign. And the title, What a Day, I usually... If I walk into the kitchen in the morning, it's what I always say to my family is, what a day, what a day, what a day. And it can be kind of optimistic. And then by 6 o'clock at night, when everybody drags their ass back home, it could be, wow, what a day. Or it could be, whew, what a day. That's up for interpretation. And I like that about life, that it's... either way, what a day. So What a Day, premiering on December 13th. Thank you for allowing me to interrupt my own podcast to give you that news. And now on with the show.
It's time for Breaking Bread with Papa. Hey! Don't you know? Hey! It's our goal. Hey! It's time for Breaking Bread with Papa. Hey! Don't you know? Hey! It's also a show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Breaking Bread with Tom Papa. I am Tom Papa, here to break bread with you and the great comedian Neal Brennan, a good friend of mine, and he's got a new special on Netflix. Just started streaming. It's called Blocks. It's hilarious. He's smart. He's funny. And he will be our guest today. Very excited to spend some time and welcome him back to our little table here. And I got him some special bread from Tartine because I've been on the road like a crazy person. Today's show is brought to you by Helix Mattress, the good people that made the mattress that I actually sleep on every night when I'm home. Again, that is a problem. I have to be home more. Helix Sleep is a premium mattress brand that provides tailored mattresses based on your unique sleep preferences. The Helix lineup includes 14 unique mattresses, including a collection of luxury models, a mattress for big and tall sleepers, even a mattress just for kids. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows to our listeners. Lucky us. Go to helixsleep.com/Papa, P-A-P-A. Don't forget to put Papa in there. And with Helix, you will get $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows. With Helix, better sleep starts now. Also, TomPapa.com, because we just released new tour dates for 2023. I always love when we have tour dates into the new year because it means we're still going, which is very exciting. We've got huge shows coming up in Chicago. We've got them in Denver. We've got them in Michigan. We've got them in New York at Town Hall. Very exciting. Lots of big shows all around the country. All new material. Very exciting stuff. We also have my new Netflix special that is coming out in December. I think I can give you the date. I don't know if I can give them the date. I'm not sure, Aaron, if I can give them the date yet. Let's just say it'll be a good Christmas present. I probably would think it would be a good time to sit and watch some of my new stand-up special. I'll see if I can I'll let you know. It's coming. So that's going to come out. So when I come out in the new year, it will be all bunch of new jokes, maybe a couple classics, but mostly new stuff for the new year. Go to tompapa.com. Oh, the Kennedy Center Yeah, that's another good one. A lot of great things. Charlottesville, bunch of dates. Go to tompapa.com. Look all of that up. This is a bit of a red alert. Let's see, by the time this comes out, this will be next week. Today, the 15th, Thanksgiving, right around the corner. I had a panicky moment since we spoke last, and I didn't realize that there was an avian flu. I know, this is a tough planet to live on. There's always something going on. But I think it's like 3% of the turkeys got hit with it. So I was like, well, they always say, I said to my daughter, we got to order a turkey because there's always a turkey shortage. She said, it seems like there's always a turkey shortage. And I was like, you're right. Maybe that rumor is always started by the turkey people to get you all excited so you order your turkey for Thanksgiving early. But then, lo and behold, I looked it up, and yeah, there is a bit of a shortage. And I went to Whole Foods website where I've gotten my turkeys the last several years, and they do a great job. You can order in advance the size you want, the different kinds you want. 2 out of the 3 that I normally get sold out. And this was a week ago. I try not to get frozen. I try and get fresh, and it just cuts down on the time. And, you need multiple days to defrost a frozen turkey. I think the taste is ultimately better. So I jumped on it. I was able to get one, not even the one that I really, really wanted. But I think it'll be fine. It's turkey. But be warned. Get your act together. Don't be caught, because there is an issue this year. And then move on to all the rest of it. I can't give you any real big baking excursions and adventures and tips right now. I will after this week. This week is a big week. I'm going to do Wait, Don't Tell Me. I'm going to wrap up some shows in New York and New Jersey. And I think I've been home 5 days in October. Yeah, I literally just came from the airport to do this show. And I leave again tomorrow morning. So it's been a huge, joyful run. But I have not been around. The only thing I'm doing is sliding into the house, kissing my wife and children, feeding my sourdough starter so it doesn't die, put it back in the refrigerator. My baking is in the toilet. So that's why I bought our good friend Neal Brennan a bread from Tartine, which is right near where I do my radio show. In L.A., they have a spot. And this is, Tartine is the people who started the whole bread revolution in the U.S. over the last 10 years. It's an amazing bread. And this is like, you can see hints of what I was going for and what I do go for. And just to see this bread, I'm grateful I can give it to Neal and he'll enjoy it. As a vegan, he can eat this bread, but I'm a little sad that I wasn't able to bake it for him myself. Next time. All right. So get your act together, get your Thanksgiving stuff, whatever you do. Like I said, you start looking at your equipment, your roasting pans, your gravy boats, your utensils. That's another thing. I found out that we are low on forks, and you got to get your act together. You don't want to be running around last minute. And pies, not really my department. I don't handle the pies, but I beg for the pies. And I think that's a more fun role, actually, of just go around and tell my wife and my guests and my daughters the pies that I want this year and really pressure them to get to work. And then I'll work on that big, giant, crazy turkey. So go order it, get your act together, or just get the people in your life that feed you, get their act together. And we're only a couple weeks away. All right, so that's it for now. Let's welcome our good friend Neal Brennan to the program. Oh my God, we started already.
Oh, we were just talking movies, guys. That's not what this podcast is. But if the shoe fits, you know
welcome
what I mean?
back to Breaking Bread About Movies with Neal Brennan. I'm sorry about not baking your bread. I really am.
Okay. I was worried because I don't. Is it hard to get people in LA to eat bread?
No. It's kind of like this closet thing where people say no, but they do.
But then they go to their car and fucking nibble it. It's like, remember David Tell's joke about going to a sex shop and he's like, and I get 2 pairs of edible underwear because I'm going to eat one on the way home. Fuck. God damn, he's
the
funny.
best.
He's so goddamn funny.
Do you know Tartine?
It sounds familiar.
Tartine started in
He's
San
booking
Francisco.
the comedy store?
He books the punchline. And he started the bread revolution in America, of this artisan using real ingredients to make real wholesome
What year?
bread. This is probably 12 years ago. And started in this little bakery and just making this real artisan bread with no extra additives to it. And he would only sell it like at 4 p.m. So people would line up all day and just wait for this bread.
Because it wouldn't be done till 4?
Yeah, because the schedule.
He
it's
had
like
shit to do.
It's like a lot. Because he was a musician, and no, because it's a process. So either if he had it by the morning, that means you're working all through the night. So
got it.
So these guys are like the legend, and their book went crazy, and that's where I kind of first learned. One of the first books. So anyway, near my radio show is where we hung out the other day.
Yeah.
Tartine Bakery's right next to it. Their LA version.
Oh, great.
So
I'm
brought
definitely
you a
heard
bread.
of them. Great.
You can smell it.
Yep.
All vegan.
Bread, a little sour.
It's got a little sour to it.
This is a side note.
Yes.
And it's very dirty.
Okay.
I don't want to say who said it, but somebody said that a lot of men's penises smell and taste like sourdough bread. So
Whitney.
Sarah Silverman. And she was being specific about specific 2 guys that we don't need to get any deeper into.
I was thinking that the other night. I was writing about uncles and how, because we're coming up to Thanksgiving, and I was like, you know what? How about an essay in defense of uncles?
Great.
Of how great, uncles are the best. Uncle, who's going to give you cash? Who's going to teach you to smoke when you're 10?
Yep.
Uncles. And they're like the punching bag for this stuff. I'm like, dirty jokes. What about dirty jokes? And
Your dad's not telling. I mean, maybe you'll catch an errant dad every once in a while, but it's more likely your dad will tell your cousin
right
as an uncle.
Right.
And then your cousin will tell and go, I heard it from your dad. Be like, my fucking dad?
My dad told you that joke? But is there even, like when I was a kid, I got the dirty joke book. I think volumes
Truly
1 through
Tasteless Jokes?
Yeah,
That one?
yeah. And I was like a Bible. I was just like, we couldn't believe it. We were just
There were still jokes in there that I thought stunk.
Oh,
I
there was a lot of
remember
bad
thinking
ones.
there where I was like, that's awful.
There's a lot.
It's like not even a good joke.
Right, some corny, but some great. And like Leno, he remembers every joke.
Does he really?
Yeah, he can remember street jokes. I haven't heard a street joke in forever. Of someone just coming up going, hey, you want to, let me tell you this joke, and it's like a dirty joke. Like, when's the last time someone told you a dirty joke?
Somebody had somebody texted me something the other day, and I was just like, what? And they're like, you got to say. I was like, I'm not doing it. It's already broken. The system's already broken.
But he was giving it to you as like something you should try?
No, I was texting with a friend of mine, and she was like, you like Hava? And I was like, what? She's like, say, what's Hava? And I go, what's Hava? She goes, have a nice day. I was like, why? This woman's a professional comedy writer, too. It was sad.
But is it the kind of thing like, like Red Fox albums were like this like underground, like you didn't hear it other places? Are we just in an era now where like, why would a dirty joke's not going to break through?
Well, now people brand themselves as that. Like, I'm the comedian that they don't want you to. I'm the uncle of comedy. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, we know 10 people that are basically the uncles of, like, they don't. Let me tell you something, kid.
The streaming service.
Yeah, like, they don't want this. It's like, no, you don't draw. Yeah, so uncles. Yeah. I just gave my niece just got married. And I gave her a nice uncle check.
Oh yeah.
The old. That's under. You could add that to the
Yeah, generous. Yeah, always give me
single uncle.
Oh God,
Come on.
That's a key too. And I realized that. I just, like I said, I've just been noodling around.
You don't
with
have any brothers and sisters, or do you have a
two
sister?
younger sisters.
Got it.
Yeah, and for a long time they had children and I did not. So
Right.
I was the uncle with no kids. Having no kids is important because when
Yeah,
you get with kids and you're like, the greatest joy was taking my 8 to 10-year-old nephews to my house for sleepovers. Cynthia and I were together, but we weren't married yet and we had no kids. And you just bring them into a supermarket and say, whatever you want.
Yeah, because
What?
you don't.
What?
You don't like. You wouldn't know how to begin to parent.
No.
Like once you have a kid, you're like, oh, I should.
Yeah.
Create rules and boundaries.
If they eat a bag of Cheetos at midnight, they're going to throw up and I'm going to have to clean it.
Do they throw up?
They get close.
Yeah,
They
it's close enough.
They get
Where they talk,
nightmares.
they need to talk.
But it doesn't compare to the joy when they're just like holding arms full of stuff their moms won't let them buy.
Yeah.
And you're just pulling out really like $20.
But it's all the money in the world.
Totally.
Yeah. You're like Hugh Hefner, basically.
Yeah. So when you write that check to your niece, it's like,
Here you go.
here you go.
And in some ways, it's the thing that you can't relate to, which is I'm taking this thing off the thing. I'm going back
There you
here.
go. Oh, nice.
I might be not. Let me.
You're the first
center
to do
myself.
that.
Pretty cool. I'm
Yeah, I
a
like
trailblazer. I can't use a regular mic.
You really can't.
You don't have any. You don't have any brothers because in some ways I feel like I'm the youngest,
Right.
So I'm paying back what my brothers and sisters in a good way. Like my brothers
What they
and sisters
did for you.
gave me like so much access to
Right.
the world that I now feel obligated to give them back. Like my brother worked at Wrigley Field and the Chicago Stadium. So my brother
wow.
Tommy. So I've been to 100 Cubs games, like 150, like didn't pay for tickets, just walked in. My brother worked in the press box. So I would just go to the press box.
How old were you?
10.
10?
10 through 13.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You lived in Chicago?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Wilmette. And then Kevin, so Kevin got me into, so that's Tommy, the one who worked at Wrigley Field and the Chicago Stadium. So I used to go to Bulls games before Michael Jordan was on the team.
Whoa.
And then when he was on the team, and I saw a thing that's like feels like world historic now, which is a white woman mistaking Michael Jordan for somebody else. And he got like his feeler. I mean, it was probably used to it, but someone goes, "Are you Orlando Woolridge?" And he was like, "Orlando, like the fuck."
Wow.
And then that's who I cut the check to the other day, one of his daughters.
Oh, right. Okay,
And
that's
then
good.
and then Kevin got me into comedy, so his kids aren't old enough to pay back, but
Right. How
but-
old are his kids now? They're probably like 12.
almost, yeah, like I think around 10ish.
Right. It's so funny because whenever I tell people that I really love Kevin, and people like even before like he got angrier like recently, but when he was just like the regular angry Kevin, I was always like, you just don't take him seriously. He's just Kevin, and it's like he's not. And I always bring up when he came to my parents' beach house in like little boaty water shoes and had shorts and was like eating corn on the cob with my mom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's Kevin.
Regular guy.
Yeah, he's just a regular guy. Yeah. And his wife was hilarious. They're great people.
Yeah.
Then he got a little angry and started yelling it at everybody. But how's he doing now? I haven't seen him in a bit. Good?
Yeah.
Still the same?
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
When I have this very vivid memory,
When did you start doing stand-up?
93.
Okay.
So he was already it was like him and Attell.
Yeah.
Those guys were like, and Louis, like they were already like,
And Marin.
they were like
and
juniors,
Todd Barry, and
and Boston Comedy
And
would
Sarah.
and Sarah. Yeah. Oh my
and
God.
Wanda say.
And
Just keep going on.
Yeah. And but I remember vividly like showing at the Boston Comedy Club, trying to get on that Monday night show, just like, which was like packed with kids just there to see comedy.
Was he the MC then?
No.
He had been the MC, I think.
He wasn't the MC. I just was like there waiting to see if I'll get picked to go on at like midnight or whatever.
Yeah.
Coming in from New Jersey, just starting out, no joke, just like terrible. Like, what is this place?
Yeah.
And seeing Kevin Brennan walk through, it was a rainy Monday night, and he just walked through from like in front of the stage to the bathroom in the middle of the show, and he was wearing like a overcoat, like a trench coat, and he just kind of had that like kind of like quiet, wise ass attitude, and he just walked in the back. I was like, oh, I'm not ready for this.
That's funny. That's so funny. Those like, I remember I went to the Improv because Kevin worked the door with Attell in 87.
Oh my God.
88.
So you were a baby.
Yeah. I was 13, 14. So I've known Attell. In high school, I was elected senator in student government, and I was a freshman in high school, and Attell kept making the joke, the senator's been shot. So I remember going to the Improv, sitting there watching Brian Regan crush in a way I still haven't seen topped.
Yeah.
Like just crushing.
God.
And then Dennis Miller and Robin Williams came in.
Oh my God.
And it was just like, and Dennis Miller had a trench coat on. People used to wear trench coats.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
Columbine really fucking ruined that.
Yeah, Kennison had a trench coat.
Yeah. So yeah, those moments of like, oh man, that guy, like you can't believe
it. And there's something about seeing those guys in a club setting that is just, there's a potency. Like when I saw Jerry come back, and he came on to my sister's like charity show at Gotham, and I'd been with him like in theaters and stuff, but just watching him come in, just do a 15-minute set in a comedy club, you know, and I must have seen it before, but there was something about this night watching him just, you know, because normally he'd be in the clubs at that time trying stuff out, working stuff out. And he showed up like, let me give him a proper set for 15 minutes.
Yeah,
and
it's funny when he goes like, you know what, I'll give you a real, you want to see me throw the ball?
Yeah, right, exactly. Like I saw Sarah once at Largo, and I always use this example because she's so brave about new material. Yeah. And her at Largo, she was like, everyone was killing before her, and then she goes up and she's trying out her stuff, and she stopped in the middle and was like, you know, she's working it out, and then stopped in the middle and said, just so you know, I could kill right now. Yeah. I could, but let's get through this. Let's do this. Yeah. And it's true. Like, and so to watch him just unleash that one night, it was like those low ceilings, that small space, like you're saying with Regan, it's like there's a potency to killing in that environment that's just more powerful than you'll see anywhere else.
You forget the killing thing, because I used to bug Chappelle about killing, like, because Dave would have like really bad set, like bad sets where he'd be like kind of bummed afterward, and it was like, well, just kill.
Right.
It was before I did stand-up, so I was like, just kill, just fucking crush. And he was like, yeah, it's not the point. And I never knew what I was kind of like, just kill.
Yeah.
And now I know. He had a different ethos, which is like, just don't do anything prepared, which feels like that's like, I couldn't do that. Now I'll do sets where I'm like, just trying new shit. Yeah. And then like it's Friday or Saturday, I was at the store, and I have good new jokes, and I have like new jokes. Yeah. And the good new jokes were doing great, and then I did like 2 to 3 day old, as old as this bread, like jokes, and they didn't do well, and I was like, just so you know, I literally was like, I'm not worried about, like, I got a thing coming on Netflix Tuesday. I can do, and don't act like you like me tonight if you watch it. But yeah, there is that.
It's hard.
There's value to both.
Oh, completely. 100%. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with when you're getting it tight and getting to enjoy that and have fun and do it. But you also are there to work, and also there's years when even though you know I'm allowed to kind of, but you're kind of newer than the classes before you, where you can't night after night just be dying as you're finding the new material because the wait staff is telling the manager and the booker, and you don't get to work. So there's a fine line of when you get to the point of when you're allowed to.
Well, it's funny where even at the Comedy Store, I'm like, Comedy Store's so popular that I'm like, I used to work out during the week at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
But now that's taken away. So I'm like, I need a shittier room now. I need like a shittier, I need to go like the level, like all of comedy's rising, like all boats rise in the whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, I need to be in like the swamp.
I know.
I can't be just in like a nice marina all the time. Like I need to fucking like stammer and fuck up and.
Well, the OR is better for that than the main room,
but it's still not. If it's sold out, I don't want to bomb.
Yeah, and everyone's going up before you. It also depends what the mood of all your friends are what everyone's doing. If everybody's getting up and like trying stuff out or like working,
right?
Then it's
at
okay.
The store you can't really. But how often does it happen? Like, guys, we all agree to not do well, right?
No, it really. Yeah, it's just a matter of like. If you come in and like you're up and Allie's up and everyone's everyone's working on stuff, then you're like, okay, I have some room. But if you go up and everyone's throwing fastballs,
like, we're gonna throw fastballs. All right,
fine.
All right, fine. Oh, the stupid arm.
So your special comes out.
Yeah, it comes out. We're shooting this Monday, and I don't know when this comes out.
So it comes out tomorrow.
Great.
And it's so good.
Thank you.
It's
very
so
much.
funny.
Thank you again.
And we got to talk a little bit about it on the Netflix radio show. And when I left,
a competitor's radio show. Yeah.
I'm competing against myself.
Yeah.
When we left, we had a great conversation. It was really fun. And but when I left, I really, as I was driving and just thinking over the next couple of days, I really wanted to make sure that I complimented you from the start of how many great lines there were. There were so many. I would
like to interrupt you right now by saying you've already complimented me very thoroughly. So
good.
Like I was driving away going like, I'm so happy you watched it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm so happy you watched it and then you went back and watched the beginning of it. Yeah. And like, I'm so just right there, I'm already like, you owe me nothing.
Okay,
that's
good.
More than most people.
Yeah. Well, that's good. But I only did it out of joy. It's so funny. It's a great special. Everyone has to watch it. But really, that was the one little thing. It was like we didn't, I could talk about comedy forever, as this podcast has proven. But there were so many really good lines.
Thank you.
Really good lines.
Well, that's the good. I mean, that's like the capitalist. I'm like, I'm gonna be able to really clip this for Instagram and TikTok. Like, it's so dumb that like I make like an hour-long emotional presentational thing. And then I'm like, but I can clip it.
I know. It is.
I mean, again, it's like it's albums versus singles or whatever. But
yeah, but it's interesting. This is just where we're at culturally. Like I watched. Did you see Bono on Colbert?
I have a hard time with Bono.
Okay, some people do.
I find him so blustery that I like it's
too much.
He insists upon Bono.
Right.
He insists upon himself.
Yeah. There is a great, I don't know who was inducting who. I think it was probably Bono talking about Springsteen at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I think it's Bono talking about Bruce, and it's very funny because he's talking about the obvious God complex that they both have.
Right.
Like when only I know how full of yourself you are. Yeah. Because I am equally as full.
The hilarious thing about Springsteen is how much plastic surgery he's had and no one notices.
I know.
Everyone
just keeps saying how he looks
hilarious.
Great. He just looks
like
great.
He's so spray tanned and Botoxed up.
I know.
And hair, like the whole, from top to bottom. He's like Madame Tussauds at this point, where you wheel him in. And did you go to his Broadway thing?
No.
I'm not like the biggest fan. That's one of those guys that like my brothers and sisters were all into.
Yeah.
But it was a good show.
Yeah,
It was
I
a
know.
good show
I
'cause
watched
it
it on
talked about. Oh,
Netflix.
so you watched it? All right.
Yeah, but it wasn't the same as being there, I'm sure.
Well, you get the idea.
Yeah.
It's funny hearing someone talk about their own myth and their own myth making.
I know, because that really struck me, because he's like, I didn't really grow up that way. I'm not
Yeah.
really that, blue collar. And then some of it like was true, but he was like pretty much saying, I made a lot of this shit up.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the nail in the coffin for Dice when he came out on Arsenio.
Yeah.
That was like, what?
Yeah.
You're letting, wait, it was like, oh.
Well, it seemed like he was pleading for forgiveness because he was getting so much like heat.
Right.
And he's like, I'm just a regular guy.
Yeah.
And it was like, no, keep being the wrestling
it's a
guy.
character.
Yeah. Just be wrestling because it's more fun.
But like you said, like maybe the myth is too great. Like
Springsteen could tell people that's not who I am, and they go, yeah, you are.
yeah, but are you gonna play Born to Run?
Yeah. Yeah, like seriously. You had like a girl and her
Yeah.
dad, and it's like they
there's
like the character. So
But back to the Colbert thing, whether or not you like Bono, I'll be able to make this very deep point.
Great.
No, they have this big show at the Ed Sullivan Theater, and it's this, all these people, millions of dollars a show to put on this whole thing, and he interviews him. The interview is so short, like it's
they just
3 minutes.
They did hits.
Yeah, like they just did like 3 minutes, and then commercial for 10 minutes, and then 3 minutes, question and an answer, another break. And then they finally get to the song he's going to sing, With or Without You. He's got a new book, so there's like, and I saw on Instagram, and I was like really trying to get through. I was on the road, and I was like trying to hang in there, and I didn't even get to see the song. I was just like, I'm going to sleep. And I woke up the next morning. It was on Instagram, just the song. Here's Bono singing from his hit from his book, and they did the thing, and it was so great. This 3 minute.
You got the good part.
You got the good part. All of this.
Yeah. Well, that's what albums used to be.
Yeah.
Meaning you'd spend $14 on an album, and then you just want like one and like a half of the songs.
Right.
But you had to pay for the full thing, and so I'm not lamenting it in that like if people like the whatever, it's like it's got good single or whatever.
Yeah.
By that paradigm.
Right.
Ideally, it has good.
Right. Well, and there is the other thing. It's like your special is the special.
Yeah.
But there are great lines that it would be fun just to see like a clip of it. That's okay too.
You're looking at something else. You want to see someone do a dance, and then I say da 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 da, and you get fucking a dog throws up out the car window.
When you hit Instagram, the little search button, and it shows you like all the things that you kind of like already.
Yeah.
What is in yours?
I could take it out. Hold on, let me look.
It's
as good a question as I've heard.
Because I was talking about
I don't know if it's exactly what I like or what it
thinks you like.
Yeah, it's a lot of like I don't know.
It'll have some of your search.
All right, I see Bobby Lee.
Yeah.
I see it's Bobby Lee and Nikki Glazer. So that's me. Stand by that. I see Aaron Paul legally changed his last name and the name of his son. I see Brian Austin Green. I see Sarah on. This is one of those eavesdropping things because this is stuff that I've talked about. I talked about Aaron Paul yesterday. I talked about
so it heard
Stevie
you?
Wonder and Frank Sinatra yesterday. Stevie Wonder and Frank Ocean yesterday.
Interesting. So it heard you.
Sarah just came up. I don't know if this is new Sarah Silverman. So it's like not wrong.
Yeah. Mine's a lot of babies. Mine's a lot of kids doing funny things.
Really?
Yeah, because I had one of my, I don't know what you call it, when they take your stand-up and people just lip sync it.
Yeah.
I had a thing about making people. I made my own people, and
great.
That really caught on.
Great.
So I've liked a lot of those things. So
great.
I'm just filled with babies.
Well, that's the thing. I want to have a burner algorithm. Like for like, I'm not into this, but like, I need to like it, but don't. I wish there was like, this is not. don't quote me.
Right, exactly.
Instagram, but I do like this.
There's been times when I like checked out a comedian that I don't like.
Yeah.
And then it starts feeding
Then it's
you
like,
that comedian.
you're like, no, you I was hate watching it.
Right, exactly.
You misunderstand.
Yeah. I'm not
No,
into
this is
it.
creepy because this is literally all stuff I've talked about in the last day, kind of apropos
Wow, it's weird.
of like not like Anthony Bourdain I talked about the other day. I talked about Heidi Klum's Halloween costume. I talked about maybe I just talk about cultural stuff.
I get Bill and Nate on there a lot.
Who's Bill and Nate?
Burr and Bergazzi.
Oh, got it.
Jordan Peterson.
Yep. I'm not getting any Jordan Peterson right now, but in the past I have.
Yeah.
Talk about a tempest in a teacup, as they say. I still don't know why people get upset about him.
I don't either. He's
Like I'm still waiting for like what the issue is.
I know. He's like, be better, be responsible, try and live a good life.
You're a pig.
Pull yourself out of your
You're a
life.
pig.
Be kind to
Okay.
people. Take responsibility for your work and your actions and your family.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah, you're a piece of shit. I hope you go into another coma.
I know.
I have no idea. You and I would probably fall into the same category of like where we're both friends with Joe Rogan. We're both going on the show sometimes, and it's just like,
Yeah.
I'm not obsessed with like what's happening to our culture, but like I think about it a lot.
Yeah.
And I knew Joe for 15 years before the internet, 10 years before the internet and 15 years before he had a podcast. And when I knew Joe in the 90s, I never thought about his politics once ever.
Never, right?
Ever. It just didn't even occur to me.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't even a thing you'd consider.
And if he was like conservative, I'd be like, all right.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are conservative people.
Right.
And I believe that they came. I mean, my thing with that is like, clearly there must be some validity to their point of view if straight up half the people feel that way.
Right.
Roughly. Like, I can't just throw it away entirely. Like, I don't feel
Everyone's
that way.
nuts if I don't feel that way.
Yeah.
Doesn't really hold up.
Yeah. It's just not like an adult point of view.
Right.
So it is odd to see people go like, why do you do that show? I'm like, people that don't know I know them will bring them up.
Well, what's funny is if anybody ever says, like, why do you do that show? I guarantee you they don't listen to that show.
I promise you they don't.
It's the same with Jordan. It's like you don't listen. You've been told a couple things.
Yeah.
And you don't get.
And then they tell you what the problem is. They go, Jordan Peterson thinks that lobsters are dominant or something. You're like, oh yeah, oh fuck this guy. You're right. Fuck him.
Right.
I want to flip this table for some reason. Like as like it's someone I should be allowed one table flip per episode.
Yeah.
And Joe is like
would be
the
a funny
vax
hook.
stuff or the vax stuff, which I
think that's
disagreed with.
Yeah.
I disagreed with it.
Right.
You know who else I disagree with? My mom. So, didn't cancel her. Look, have I put my mom on ice a couple of times? I'm Irish. Of course I have, Tom. But I'm not gonna, I can't throw people that have just been fucking nice to me and not nice for show or not nice. Joe's nice. Joe's always been nice.
Why would you turn on your friend?
Yes.
For people you don't even know.
Well, and the other thing is like if you and I talk about this in my new Netflix special
Called Blocks on Netflix.
That it's thankless being liberal because there's no amount that's enough, and also if these Joe will be loyal to me. Mm-hmm. These liberals don't give a fuck. Like they don't. It's one strike. It's a quarter of a strike. You're out. So, like, I mean, like,
the great thing about that joke is you're building up that it's impossible to be liberal enough to satisfy liberals.
A liberal.
Yeah. Like you could do all these things, and they're like always waiting for you.
Yeah, there's the thing.
But you did say this.
Yeah, you said you misgen, you dead named.
I saw you with a water bottle.
Yeah,
a plastic water bottle.
Yeah,
And it's like
okay, now.
Yeah.
So what do we do now? It's like, all right, and then I go, well, recycling doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well, I still think we need to do. Okay.
Right.
Who wants to be around? That's the other thing that liberals don't understand is tribal identity and belonging is, in terms of like hierarchy of needs, is so high for human beings. So fucking high. And they have no awareness of that whatsoever. It's a club. It's, that thing of like people hold their nose and vote.
Yeah.
It feels like Democratic leaders hold their nose and govern.
Right.
Like they don't like the people that you think AOC would like me. Fuck no, she wouldn't like me. So
yeah, it's a very it's a weird thing because it's like when you have something that starts off in what appears to be kindness of let's be nicer to people in general.
Yeah.
Let's be nicer to those
give people
fortunate
shot.
or less
Yeah,
fortunate than us.
Yeah.
Is great. And then when it gets put into this practice, it all of a sudden becomes mean.
Well, that's the gamification and of just social media and the whole, like, just teams formed.
Yeah.
Like, they just formed.
Right.
And if, like, guys like you and I, who I say things in the special that are not like liberal doctrine. Mm-hmm. Like I talk about guns in a way that I could get in a lot of trouble for.
Yeah. Do you think you will? Do you think?
I don't know.
I wonder if
I have there's a lot of things that if they want to get me, they can.
Right.
They want to get me, they can.
I don't think they...
I just talk about gun statistics that are very surprising. The stat is it's around 30,000 gun deaths a year, and it's 2/3 suicides.
Right.
Nobody knows that.
Right.
It's 40,000. It's 2/3, so it's around 13,000 murders a year.
2/3 of all gun deaths.
2/3 of all gun deaths are suicide. Now, if you're really liberal, you're in favor of suicide. I don't even get into all that. Like, well, you're in favor of like abortion and right to like old people to euthanize themselves. What about everybody else? What about that whole midsection between birth or inception and conception and euthanasia?
Right.
What about those people? So if they that's like a whole level. That's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't.
You could do it, but not with a gun.
Yeah, exactly. Bridge. We're pro bridges.
We love ropes.
Yeah. And then they could get me on like, well, there's a lot of gun injury. It's like, yeah.
Right.
But there's also when people say, yeah, there are a ton of gun injuries.
Yeah.
How many guns have you seen in your life? Live. Not on a cop.
Not that many.
I've seen one in 2005 in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, in a gypsy cab. Like just a guy with a gun.
Right. No, I've seen more than that. When you travel, like when you... No?
Where would I have seen? I don't know. Like, where are you going?
Gang meetings and stuff.
Oh, okay. Like in Colombia.
No, but like down south, like there'll be people or carrying, I don't know, Illinois.
I guess, I don't do that many southern shows. But Texas, I guess I do, maybe at like a rest stop or gas station or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not even remarkable.
I was in Florida this weekend, and there was a billboard. They have those like repeat billboards on a 2-hour trip.
Yeah.
It was Machine Gun America. It was just a girl with big boobs holding a machine gun, and it was just about come to this.
It's a store. Great.
Machine Gun America.
Yeah, fantastic. But the other thing about guns, and I'm not even being overly contrarian here, guns make people feel safe that would not feel safe. Uh-huh. Like I'm not talking about like big good old boys. I'm talking about like women who live by themselves, and like the way people go, religions cause more war than anything. Mm-hmm. It's also prevented a lot of people punching people in the face. It's like a good governor in general. I'm not for them. I'm just saying, like, I'm not, I guess I'm saying in a lot of these things, I don't know. I don't know.
Exactly. That's what's cool about your special, is that you don't just say, you start the whole thing off saying, could I look more liberal? Could I be more, one of my favorite lines, I'm a vegan, I'm bone thin.
Yes, bone thin, correct.
I'm bone thin would make me laugh out loud. And just everything about you just says, I don't eat meat, I don't drink.
Yep.
I'm like, I could not be more this way. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to entertain logic at times.
Yeah,
that
like
there's going to be real facts that I can't, just because I look like this team, I can't say that all these things are true.
Yeah, like I don't
really
necessarily, like I don't, it was funny, there was a article about, a woman did a show in New York and about abortion, a stand-up show, and a critic wrote something about abortion, this is a year ago, and he was like, I've seen straight white male comedians be seemingly pro-abortion, and it was Bill Burr, George Carlin, and most recently Neal Brennan. And I was like, are you trying to slam me with Bill Burr and George Carlin? Like, you're gonna have to go a different route than lumping me with two of the greatest ever. Right. Thank you. I don't know when life begins. Right. I don't know. I don't know if it is or it is. I don't know if it's good or bad. I don't know. I'm happy it's legal, and I'm gonna like vote for it. And it's a tragedy that it got overturned, and it's gonna be, it will make the country worse. Yeah. If you're using laws from the 1860s. Yes. It will make the country absolutely worse. But I don't know when life begins. Right. Well, that's kind of, I was trying to work out this joke, and I just decided this morning, actually, like, you can't really do it because, first of all, it's not funny, but also because everyone thinks that they do know things. But the thing was, why would I ask anybody their political bent? Like, if you want friends, don't ask them that. Like, there was a time when you didn't talk about politics, because really what it comes down to is, how much do your friends really know about anything? How much do they... if they're good friends, not much. And if they're really smart, they probably have two issues that they know a lot about. And then the rest, they're just as dumb as everybody else. So, like, why would you base your friendship with people on their knowledge of the issues when it's hard enough just to parallel park? Yeah, or decide where to eat, or just be nice to each other, or have decent energy to be around. Yeah, or just like what to eat tonight, or like what this girlfriend is, or my kids are doing. It's just like... Well, they said don't talk about religion. They said don't talk about religion or politics. What they didn't say was don't yell about religion or politics. I think we found the loophole, which is you can yell about them. I was in the lounge this morning at the airport, and the woman came in behind the bar, and she turns the TV on, and it was, the midterm elections are coming up, and she would just hit the thing to the Weather Channel, and it was like, a tornado's coming, and it was just like, you felt everyone just relax. Just a tornado. That's funny. That could be a good joke. Yeah. Where it really is like, thank God, it's just natural disasters. Yeah. But that's I got off. I brought Instagram back onto my phone because I had to post something. I have to post shit for like the next couple days. Yeah. But I took it off my phone for a month because I was in Hawaii, and I was like obsessing about comments on a video that I'd posted on Instagram, and like checking it and refreshing. One of your videos? Yeah. No, it wasn't even mine. It was one of yours. It was one of yours, and I said something really mean, and I wanted people to like it. And I was like, hey man, this is a really bad use of your actual life, of just sitting in paradise. Yeah. Worrying about people making fun of your looks on a video. Yeah. And I took it off my phone, and now I go on between 11:45 and 12 at night, 11:45, like at midnight. So half the time I don't even want to. Right. And when it's just better, dude. I know it's like I'm that guy now, like, hey, I'm like another thing I've quit or like a zealot about, but it's like, it is better. It's just better. We are different people. Yeah.
dealing with different things since these devices hit our lives.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I haven't, like this whole thing with Twitter, with Elon and trying to, I just, without a big declaration, just stopped going on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, I'll have my assistant post my dates once in a while. I haven't seen a Twitter feed or the @ thing or the comments about you in 6 years. It's not like something's missing. It's not even like I even have an inkling of what am I missing out on.
No, it's like sugar or whatever. Once you get it out of your system, your body doesn't want it. If you get it in your system, your body's like, hey, can we get some more of that?
More.
But if you get it out, your body doesn't naturally crave it. I notice the difference when I wake up and I don't have it to go on.
Yeah.
The first 10 minutes of my day are better.
Right.
Because I don't look at it like I'm like this umbilical cord or something.
It's instinctual. You don't even have to, when you're in the loop of it, you don't even have to think, let me check it.
You
literally
find yourself checking it before you even remember that you're conscious.
It's just that's boom, boom, boom. Turn it on, hit the Instagram and
And I also am finding that I just want to do something with my phone.
Yeah.
Which is sad. Like, I just want to go on Google. I want to fuck with it.
Yeah, I know.
I want to hit it, I want to feel the juice, whatever the juice is.
You ever scroll through the news, like whatever news source you use, and
Alex Jones, go ahead.
And you go through it, and it's like I found myself, I didn't get angry enough. I don't stop until something pisses me off.
Right, which used to be you'd pick up the paper and flip, and it was just boring or not. I'm either interested or I'm not.
Right.
And now it's like, what?
Yeah,
It's either huh or what?
Right.
You motherfucker. Yeah.
If you don't get to the what, you feel like you didn't get the drug.
Yeah, it didn't work. So, it's worse. How do you deal with it with your kids?
Well, that ship has sailed. They're 20 and 17, and they kind of had
They identify as ships? Go ahead. I had to make the identification jokes, guys. Come on, it's 2022.
They had to kind of navigate it themselves. I knew they were going to be better at navigating it than we were.
How come?
Because they were...
Native to it?
They were, native to it. And it wasn't... They still wrestle with it the same way we do. Like, my daughter, there was a time when, like... I could tell when she had just been in her room on her phone. She would just come into the kitchen like, you know?
Yeah.
And I would just bring it up, and I would say it as my example. Like, I didn't touch my phone and I felt so much better today.
Yeah.
And I would see, and just like all of us, like she would shut it down, go off Instagram, do whatever, but then come back to it, and then shut it down and be cool and then like come back to it. And there's still, I guess the short answer is I couldn't control it.
You couldn't control theirs.
I could just had to advise them.
You have one of my favorite lines about parenting. You may not even remember, but you said, it's 7 years ago or 8 years ago. You said, now my job is to make rules and her job